Episode 2. Old Friends, New Business. The door to the hideout groaned as Ironhand stepped inside. The scent of old wood, cigars, and gun oil mixed in the dimly lit room. The jukebox in the corner crackled with the low hum of an old blues track, a relic from a time when men settled scores with lead and not contracts. Ironhand flicked the stub of his cigar into the tray by the door, taking in the scene with a slow, deliberate glance. Dante Mercer, the brick, stood near the far wall, arms crossed, cybernetic hands glinting under the low light. He said nothing, but he didn't have to. His presence alone was a warning. Ren Saiko, the infamous ghost, was already reclined in a chair, feet kicked up on the table, lazily scrolling through data on a wrist console. Kara Vance, or better known as Ash, stood by an open weapons case, inspecting the latest shipment, her fingers absently spinning a playing card between them. Then the last one arrived. Vi Lane slid through the doorway like she belonged, smirking as she pulled her hood back. "Took me a minute to shake some eyes," she said, dropping into the chair next to Ghost. "Someone's been watching." Ironhand let the words settle, walking over to the wooden table at the room's center. He pulled a bottle of whiskey from the shelf, pouring a slow measure into a glass. "Let's talk business." Ghost leaned forward, swiping the screen to project a blurred image. "Surveillance drones. We picked up an unknown watching this place from a rooftop 2 nights ago. No tags, no cyberprint, nothing. Like they don't exist." Ash scoffed, shutting the weapons case. "That's not the only thing. One of my shipments got intercepted before it reached us. Someone rerouted it mid-transport, real-time interference. That's not street-level work." Brick finally spoke, his voice low and firm. "Seems someone is making moves on us." Silence settled over the table. Ironhand set his drink down, fingers tracing the rim of the glass. Then Ash said something that froze the air in his lungs. "My team walked directly into an ambush." The room faded. The jukebox hum drowned under a distant ringing. The air thickened with smoke, not the cigar haze of the hideout, but the acrid sting of burning metal and blood. The hideout's dim lights twisted into the blinding glow of floodlights. He wasn't in New Babel anymore. He was back there. Gunfire. Screams. The ground shaking beneath his boots. Ironhand crouched behind debris, revolver steady in his one good hand. His left arm. Nothing but blood and metal shards. A voice. His lieutenant's, screaming something over the comms before static swallowed it. Then the silhouette through the smoke. A chrome-plated enforcer stepped forward, smooth helmet reflecting the carnage. No words. No hesitation. Just the hum of a combat blade igniting in its grip. Ironhand could barely keep his vision steady and barely register the moment before the blade rose. Quick fade to black. The hideout snapped back into focus. Neon glow, whiskey, and tobacco. He wasn't there anymore, but his grip on his revolver was tight, his finger too close to the trigger. Brick's voice and hand on his shoulder pulled him back. "You good, boss?" Ironhand let the silence stretch, then exhaled, flicking cigar ash onto the floor. He nodded once, slow. "Yeah." Vi glanced at him but said nothing. The moment passed. The business remained. Ironhand straightened, picking up his glass. "We find out who's behind this, and we remind them who runs this city." He looked at each of them, voice steady as he gave orders. Ghost, already flicking through data feeds, was first. "Find the ghost watching us. Get into their systems. Trace where that drone came from. If they think they're invisible, prove them wrong." Ash, arms crossed, nodded as Ironhand turned to her. "Track the shipment. Find out who had the access to reroute it. If someone's selling out our supply lines, I want their name on my desk." Brick cracked his knuckles, cybernetic joints flexing. Get eyes on the streets. Shake down the right people. If someone's making moves, someone else knows about it. Vi, smirking, leaned back in her chair. And me? Ironhand took a drag from his cigar before answering. You run deep. Whoever's coming for us, they have reach. Get into the networks, see what rumors are moving under the surface. If there's heat on us, I want to feel it coming before it gets close. One by one, the crew moved out, each knowing their role and setting things into motion. Soon, Ironhand was alone. Almost. Vi lingered by the doorway, arms crossed, watching him. You gonna tell me what that was back there? She asked, voice casual but her eyes sharp. Ironhand didn't look up, just poured himself another drink. Nothing that concerns you. Vi let out a quiet laugh. Bullshit. I know that look, Graves. You were somewhere else. Ironhand swirled the whiskey in his glass. And I've seen men drown in the past. Don't need you slipping when things are about to get messy. Ironhand took a slow sip before setting the glass down. He finally met her gaze, unreadable as ever. I don't slip. Vi studied him for a second longer, then nodded, smirking like she hadn't just peeled back a layer of him most wouldn't dare to touch. Good. Let's keep it that way. She gave him a mock two-finger salute before stepping out. The quiet settled again. Ironhand exhaled, rolling the glass between his fingers before reaching for the communicator. The line picked up after one ring. A distorted voice on the other end. No greeting. To talk. Ironhand took a slow breath. I need a name. A pause. Then the voice answered. Ironhand. Ironhand leaned forward, tapping ash from his cigar. Yes. The voice shifted to professional. What details can you provide me? Ironhand casually and calmly gave the details. Understood, and the line went dead. Ironhand exhaled, watching the smoke curl toward the ceiling, letting the silence linger. Whoever was making moves against him, they'd soon find out. Ironhand wasn't going to wait for war to come to him. He was bringing it to their doorstep.